I've literally had several anxiety attacks all day long, and I promise you not a single soul noticed. One of the craziest things is being surrounded by people you love and feeling completely alone in that moment, in their presence. I think that putting on a face is literally one of the hardest things to do, and I'm just trying to master that. It's like you can tell yourself 1,000 times the bad thoughts, the mean voices, they're all in your head, it's not real, but somehow it's still your reality. I am really in one of the worst stages of limbo I have ever been in my entire life. I honestly do not even have a clue what's going on or what direction I'm headed in mentally. One thing I do know for sure is regardless if I'm up or all the way down and feel like I don't have a middle ground, I know that God is with me when I'm up, and I know that He's with me when I'm down. But it's in the middle where He meets me. And I thank God for meeting me in the middle. On my 25th day of sobriety, I can honestly say nothing but the Lord has allowed me to feel this sane in spite of everything else I have going on. So I don't know what mental issue that you're dealing with, but I pray that you just allow God to meet you in the middle. It don't look good right now, and it don't feel good right now, but I just know that it's going to get better because I trust God. And I don't have nothing or nobody else to trust in, so I pray that you just keep trusting God to meet you in the middle. Be blessed.
God has a word for you. Proverbs 25:11-12 Message Version. The right word at the right time is like a custom-made piece of jewelry, and a wise friend timely reprimand is like a gold ring slipped on your finger. I love how you are encouraging yourself. But let me tell you something. God is not meeting you in the middle. He's always there. God will meet you where you at and continue. Because some folks might be like, I don't know if I can make it to the middle. But Hebrews 12:1, verse 2. And if I don't specify any other translation, I'm reading out New King James Version. Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. The race that God has set before you. Lay aside every weight. Make sure you forgive yourself. And don't allow the voice of others to make you feel guilty. Verse 2, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, for who the joy was set before him, who endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. See, God allowed you to go through this, and congratulations on day 25. Keep on going. God allowed you to go through this and keep on documenting where you're going, because God is going to use you to teach other people or show other people what to do while in the wait. 2 Corinthians 1:4 NLT. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the same comfort God has given us. See, the comfort that God is going to give you now, God is going to have you give others. Proverbs 3:5, 6, 7, and 8. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It will be health to your flesh and strength to your bones. Like you said, where you're at right now. And the Bible tells us, for we are to walk by faith and not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. God is going to show you how to walk by faith and not by sight. In this season of where you're at, God is going to teach you how to lean more on his strength and less on your own. Hebrews 13:5. Let your conduct be without covetousness. Be content with such things as you have. For he himself has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. God is always with you. But here's something that most people don't understand, or that they don't do, is when you feel the way you are feeling, you are to seek God. You are to get closer to God just so you can feel his presence. Because life is going to come. Life is going to happen. There's going to be some days you feel better than others. But everything that happens to us that doesn't feel so good is designed to bring us closer to God and not away from God. If everything was so easy, we wouldn't need God. How do we know that God is a healer if we never needed to be healed? How do we know that God is a deliverer if we never needed to be delivered? But what do you do while you're waiting on God? Psalms 27:14. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen you. Shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Matthew 6:33. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Here's what God is about to teach you. All those voices, there are scriptures and things that you can do that will eliminate those voices every time they try to come up. Oh yeah. Isaiah 61:1. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound. Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, not our might, but his might. Verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Verse 12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. Verse 13. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. I'm going to give you a few things that God has taught me how to help fight against those voices. You can take a shower and make sure you put on worship music and just let it play, gospel worship music. If you are laying down trying to go to bed, just make sure you play a worship song over and over again. Also, you can begin to worship God. You can sing a worship song. Put your hands up. You can lay prostrate. That means laying flat. Your whole body is flat, worshiping God. Or if you want to get on your knees and worship God, you can do that as well too. I like to use a pillow that way, with your knees and everything. So other thing is you can talk to somebody anointed. Like, so God has sent me to you to speak these words of encouragement to you. I have so many other videos that you can look at. I have a YouTube, and they're going to breathe life back into you. You can watch other sermons, listening to more gospel music as well. You can pray. You also can fast. And these are things that you can do to help get rid of those voices. See, because when you feel like that, we're supposed to go closer to God. But sometimes people just they just sit there. They don't know what to do. And this is why God is showing you what to do, because you're not the only one that feel like that. You're not the only one that's going through similar things of what you're going through. And so this video can reach others. And so when you begin to tell others your story, watch this. They will be able to get comfort from you, from the comfort that God has given you. See, that's why God doesn't waste time. He allows us to go through certain things so we can help others get through. Okay, how did you make it like this? And see, all I did was give you a recipe that God gave me. These scriptures, they're help. You can take all of them down. You can write them down. Read them out loud every day. And here's another one. Romans 8:28. And we know that all things, not some, but all things, work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose, for those that love him. So that's a promise, watch this, from God, that if you love him, no matter what happens, it's all going to work out to your good. Watch this. Or it's not allowed to happen. Because see, God is not a man that he shall lie. That's Numbers 23:19. So if God's not going to work out to your good, it's not allowed to happen. Now, I know some people will be like, but look at all this stuff that happened to me and stuff like that. How can I give God thanks? What about the stuff that God kept us from that we have no idea? Yeah, we might have had some rough times, but there's a lot of things that God kept from us that never happened. So if anybody is watching this, please say a prayer for those that needs encouragement from this. There are counseling sessions available. The first session is always free. If you always need somebody to talk to, I'm here. It's about kingdom movement. And as the word says, I must be about my Father's business. That's what Jesus said. And what did Dion say? I ain't hard to find.